for 5 seconds.
Hey guys, welcome to Feelings with the Geekiary. I'm Erin. I'm here with several people. We have Admin Angel, Kate, and Jamie. We're fans. We have feelings. This is where we webcast about them, and we're still in quarantine, sort of weird things going on. So we're doing a watch party tonight for What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm-hmm. So you can join the conversation in a couple of ways. You can comment, since we're on YouTube, there's a comment section down below, or you can use the hashtag Geekiary Feelings, because how else will we know that we're wrong? Of course, this is a watch party, so I mean, we're not too opinionated on this episode, but it still applies.
We would like to remind all of you that the views expressed on this webcast are those of the hosts as individuals and do not necessarily represent the Geekiary or the webcast itself as a whole.
Excellent. That's out of the way. Let's move on. All right. Obviously, we still have our Patreon. Don't forget patreon.com/thegeekiary. And of course, like I said, we're still kind of in quarantine-ish. I don't know. Different states have different things going on. I'm still at home trying not to leave my house as much, except for booze runs, which I did yesterday.
New York's still in quarantine, so
okay. Okay. Kate and I live in slightly more conservative states, I think.
Yeah, a very polite way to say it.
But we do have a bunch of quarantine content. We've been doing these webcasts every week. There's some great reaction videos from Fareed as well. And we also have some very good things planned for Pride Month coming up too. So be sure to check out our YouTube channel for everything there. All right, so because this is mainly a watch party, we are gonna go through some big news, but briefly, so we have plenty of time to watch the film. So whoever, I think it's probably Angel, take it away.
I did 2 news articles this week. First one, The Stand has a first look with Vanity Fair where they released a bunch of pictures. And yes, The Stand has a remake during a pandemic. It's really weird, guys, but it's a thing. And then second, Michael Bay is making a COVID-19 film, and it's described as a thriller. And I was super mad about that and slammed out 2,000 words at 10 o'clock at night because I was just so mad. So instead of summarizing that article, I'll just say go read it. I'm really cranky in it. It's great.
I have a brief one that I didn't write an article about it. I was going to, and then I didn't. But Haikyuu, which is my favorite anime, it's in the mid-season break right now, but the second half of the season is delayed because of COVID. So it was supposed to start in July, and I'm not exactly sure when it's going to start now, which is upsetting. But the manga is still going, so you can read that.
I haven't watching anything. I've been rewatching Schitt's Creek for the 4th time.
Very good. I would like to put my own news out there. Well, it's not my own. It's just me saying it. Because Angel and I were talking about this briefly before we started, which is the new Lady Gaga Ariana Grande video for Rain on Me came out yesterday. And I have watched it 42,000 times. So I cannot stop this.
It's so good.
So, and I got my Stupid Love eyeshadow palette today too. Which, look at it. Ooh. Look at these colors.
That's pretty.
Ooh.
It's beautiful. It's sold out now too, so sorry. Anyway.
Look at what you all can't have. Woo.
It's so good though. I can't wait to play with it. All right, so I think maybe we should just get going because we were light on news today. You know what? We should probably talk about Disney really quick. Just briefly, because Disney Springs opened this week, partial reopening. And then now we have news that Universal Studios Orlando is opening on June 5th to the public. That's in 10 days. Ish. And Legoland got approved to open on June 1st to the public.
This is going to be a disaster. This is way too soon.
So as far as I can tell, Disney has still, they have canceled all reservations through mid-June. And I heard today too on the My Disney Experience app that they added park hours back to the parks starting July 1st. So I'm thinking July 1st probably is about where we're.
Sounds like it.
That's a little bit better than like the beginning of June. I mean, it's still not perfect, but at least it's like a month down the line, which is significant, but we'll see.
Well, Florida's delusional, so
yeah.
I was talking to my mom the other day, and she's very excited because their church opens back up tomorrow.
Oh, our church is open back up tomorrow too here in Hawaii. We still have the stay-at-home order, but churches have been declared an essential business, so they can reopen as long as everyone stays 6 feet apart.
Well, that essential business doesn't pay taxes. But
I was going to say, I have some feelings about that.
Yeah, I know, me too.
We'll have a
Just drink some wine.
stand on churches feelings with the Geekiary.
Views on this webcast are those of us, the individuals.
No. Okay, let's go ahead and get started then.
All right.
Again, we're going to watch What We Do in the Shadows, the film version. Before we'll give everybody kind of a minute to get set up here. So I just want to mention that this film is great. It has kind of a cult following and in fact has a spin-off TV show that's on FX.
And just got renewed for a third season?
Yes, just got renewed for a third season, I think like yesterday or the day before. And so I watch it. It's really good. So definitely check it out too.
Before we hit play,
yeah.
What's everyone drinking?
Oh yeah. Hard seltzer.
Vodka
Mango.
Rum and Coke.
I have a Riesling that I picked out because the label was pretty.
That's how you do it.
Anything. So I know this is Kate's first time. So how we do it is we do a countdown where I go like 3, 2, 1, and then we all hit play so that we're all about synced up.
Yeah.
Anything else before we get close to that countdown?
I have a backup passion fruit. Right here.
I preloaded the film so that it will actually start when I hit play and not like buffer.
All right. We ready?
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, play. All right.
Is the orchard in New York?
I guess so.
Okay, let's get to
corporate
the movie
logos. Yeah. Corporate logos.
Do you guys watch CinemaSins? It's like 30 seconds of logos.
Oh my
now.
God.
They needed a lot of producers on this one. So.
Oh, the trivia went away. There was a general trivia thing. And
Film now? Okay.
The Unholy Masquerade.
This is very New Zealand. I guess I should have guessed that from the cast.
Oh, yeah. I love fake documentaries.
Yes.
This dog is breathing directly on me. It's his nose.
all alarms sound the same. Do you think like alarm manufacturers got together and were like, we got to make the most annoying sound in the world, and they all have to sound that way?
I think my parents still have that clock.
I had that clock when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Use the core muscles. Come on.
God, I love him.
Oh, the general trivia is back.
Sometimes I forget he's an actor too, because I know him from like his filmmaking. Usually,
He is so great in this film.
I think this is the first thing I ever saw him in.
and the other roles I know him is from acting. He's like CGI, IG-11, and the character from Thor.
Oh. Looks like Nosferatu.
Right?
Oh.
I got you this chicken.
This is very like British humor, like the way it's all delivered.
Oh, God.
Wash the bloody dishes.
In New Zealand?
We're still friends today.
It's like Cribs. It's like, let me show you the torture chamber.
I love how they do flashback photos.
I love Jemaine Clement. Oh my god, I love him.
Oh my god. God.
I like that he's like, vampires don't do dishes, and he's sitting there knitting.
That's how I do dishes too. Angrily.
This is the same theme song to the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, now we get all the production ones again, all the ones that we just spent like 30
Just in case you weren't paying attention the first time.
So is the TV show like a continuation of this, or is it like completely different?
It's similar, but it's different characters. Like it's the
Same premise.
Yeah, they all live in a house in Staten Island, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like supposed to take over the new world.
Yeah.
They just like never left Staten Island.
But one of the vampires is an energy vampire, and he actually sucks energy instead of blood. So he works in like an office.
That makes sense. Oh my god.
Sometimes I think my favorite thing about being in a movie would be like that kind of stuff, like making the props and everything.
Don't fall for the human girls. Or bad news. so sad.
I'm really glad he's in charge of the Thor franchise now. His brand of humor is just perfect.
Dude, take it off.
Couldn't he just wear it over his clothes?
I have the subtitles on it. It says playing out of tune.
Yeah, I have the subtitles on too. And now I'm sitting here trying to figure out what brass instrument that is. I played trumpet, so I think that was a bugle.
Oh.
Was he sketching him to show him what he looked like?
Yeah.
So I remember there's a Tumblr post that goes around saying that it's like a hypothetical thing, because it's like the thing was that vampires couldn't see their reflections because mirrors used to be backed with silver, but they're not backed with silver anymore. And so the post was like, imagine like a 400-year-old vampire like walking past a modern mirror and just being like, oh crap, because they see their reflection.
I mean, yeah. Those are like the bars I hang out in now.
Yep.
I wonder if that's a real place.
No, she did do the dishes, maybe.
This is random tidbit, but I was like, I think it's interesting that it's like Spain the country, Italy the country, London the city. So like not England. Screw England, but just London.
We gotta have some blood humor here.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Good thing he put his hanky on.
Yeah. Newspaper on the ground. Definitely helpful.
Paper towel.
Oh, bless him.
Oh, Viago.
Okay, but his character reminds me of a guy I used to actually know that would dress like that. Like,
Oh.
it freaks me out.
Maybe he was a vampire.
Maybe.
He did have sharp teeth prosthesis, so maybe.
Sure. You just think they were prosthesis.
He's really bad at the glamour.
amazed that these people like stay in that house long enough to become victims.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I think Jemaine Clement is like beautiful, so I would probably stay there. So if he was sitting across the table from me, I'd stay there.
Have you all seen him in Legion? God, I love his character in Legion so much.
Yeah.
Watch, it's such a good show. But his character doesn't get introduced till like the end of the first season, so you gotta wait a while.
I'm a big fan of Flight of the Conchords, so that's where I discovered him, and I was like,
I have not watched that yet, but everyone says I should because I love him so much. So.
oh yes, definitely should.
Oh God. Okay, it said mice screeching, but those were bats.
Oh my
Oh my
God. My God. God. This shit, man. This must have been such a fun set to film on. Like, it's ridiculous.
I was like, I'd be concerned that the documentary crew was still following me.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Well,
well anyway.
Oh my god.
He had his reflection.
Still.
Oh, isn't that terrible when you can't eat your friends?
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Let's see.
God. No.
Oh, I've seen like screen caps and like gift sets on Tumblr and everything, but it's better seeing it like in real person. I'm looking something up because I think I recognize one of the werewolves.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the leader.
Yeah, Rhys Darby.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who's that?
He's also in Flight of the Conchords.
Oh,
a lot.
I haven't seen that, so.
The redheaded guy.
He does one of the voices in Voltron.
Party.
Isn't the story about Stu is that like he was like the tech guy on set and they brought him in and like he didn't know that they were filming like what they were filming or something?
I don't know. That's funny.
Yeah. But he's not an actor. He that's his real job is IT, and he's just ended up in there doing Stu things.
I'm looking at because that I mean that was something I saw on Tumblr, so I don't know the accuracy of that.
Tumblr is not always the best source, yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. So the guy that plays Stu was friends with Taika in high school, and he's actually an IT tech, and that he was only supposed to have a bit part, and so he didn't know like how much of the film he was actually in until like it premiered.
That's so great.
Is he introducing them to internet porn?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't remember what movie it is. But it's I want to say it's Ocean's 11 with that. If you listen to the actor commentary on the DVD, there's a part where they go silent for like half an hour, and then they're like, "This is the most boring commentary ever." And I was just thinking that because I'm like, we're all just sitting here watching the movie.
See, this is why I said if we're watching a good movie, it's not going to be very entertaining because we're all sitting here actually enjoying the movie.
Yeah,
like, we need to watch bad movies.
And I'm so used to like not being allowed to talk when I'm watching a movie. I'm just like,
yeah.
Same.
Oh.
I was outside with this guy last night, and a bat flew down and ate a firefly right in front of my face.
Oh.
I was like, it's a little too close to me. Thanks, nature. Just do that. Oh,
My
okay,
the house that we lived in when I was in college, like we had a front porch and then the roof like slanted over the porch, and my sister's bedroom was like over the roof or over the porch. And she took the screens out of her window so that she could climb out on the roof and sit on the roof, like Dawson's Creek, I guess. And she used to leave her since her windows had no screens, like we had like bugs and all that kind of stuff, and a bat got in her room once.
Oh no.
And it was like, oh, that's lovely. And to get it out, her boyfriend had like a bucket. Oh my god. And he put the bucket like up like this on the ceiling, and then just like dragged it along the ceiling, and then just like flung it out the window.
Oh goodness.
It's okay. Can't even eat chips. Oh no. Okay.
Oh God.
It's really a shame that the other two roles I know him in are CGI, because he's got good like body comedy, like, but that doesn't get used in his other roles.
It's like putting a poster on your bedroom ceiling when you were 12. Oh.
No.
Now, can vampires get erections?
Because I mean, like, this is going down the vampire rabbit hole. That
depends on the vampire lore. In Anne Rice books, no, they cannot. In Buffy, they can. Yeah. So which one do you want to go with? Oh, I got so distracted talking about vampire dick that I didn't realize something dramatic was happening.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh man, this must have been interesting to film.
Like the hallway fight in Inception.
A rotating set, basically.
Yeah. This is such a good bit.
Why does Deacon have such a small painting?
Hate that too.
I wish you could just like do this with everybody. Just open a book and be like, this is what I don't like about you.
He's got a vampire necklace on too.
Oh my god, he does.
love stew.
Oh, now I got cat.
Oh. Let's see his ears.
He's slowly making his way over. Oh, now he's gone. It's a brief cameo of Bruce.
Ooh.
Oh.
4 months later.
It's sort of like how like the Office documentary lasted for like 7 years. It's like, what are you making it like? So it's sort of like, why is this documentary like 8 months long?
It's in like 2 weeks.
Peter.
His veins.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we have a guest now.
Oh.
We're in the middle of, I don't know if he was here when we hit play, but we're like an hour into the movie. So joining partway during a live watch is a little difficult because we're all in the middle of the film already.
Read the room, Viago. The Cathedral of Despair is a bowling club.
Well, it was really funny if you have the captions on. It was like the Cathedral of Despair, and then underneath it said upbeat music playing, which I just thought was a nice contrast.
for her.
Oh, Nick made her a vampire.
Love it.
Okay.
I'm not a demon. I'm a software analyst.
Pre-deceased.
Are you pre-deceased? Why would he bring a non-undead person, a human, to this? Was it unholy masquerade?
How weird must it be to just be like friends with Taika and then suddenly it's like, hey, be in this movie. Like you have no idea what's happening. You're just like thrown into it. Like
Sorry for the barking.
My cat's being
Think we're good.
right now, so you're not alone.
Bye.
Now is when you sneak Stu out.
Oh man.
Oh.
Werewolves, not swearwolves.
Oh, that's going to be something I'm going to quote a lot. Oh my gosh. Hey. Sorry, my cat is being bad. I apologize.
Happens to the best of us.
He was like causing trouble just out of reach. Hey.
Why aren't the werewolves invited to the masquerade? Because they're not dead?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, witches, though, were also there. I don't know. Maybe this is just a society that discriminates against werewolves. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know enough about the witches in this lore, but maybe they count because they have sold their souls.
Maybe. And then you're going to get me back on vampire dick talk where we talk the different vampires.
Maybe that should be our next topic. We can just discuss vampire erections.
Oh my gosh. Bruce, stop.
I'm a very small person, but it's going to get better.
I have run out of mixer and I don't want to get up, so I'm out of drink for now, but that's okay.
I have an extra bonus can right here.
Okay.
They look like Yetis.
Yeah.
I prefer the like werewolf lore where they actually look like wolves instead of like this weird like buff hairy people.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to talk werewolf dick. That's a conversation I want to get into. Wait, did I miss Stu getting killed?
Yeah.
No, no. I was distracted by dick talk and Cat being a jerk. I missed
He just has to make a penis joke.
Suspiciously specific.
Geese and swans are no joke.
What a terrible way to go. That's horrifying.
There's a subreddit that's suspiciously specific, and it's people like giving those type of examples like supposed to be relatable, but way too specific to be relatable.
Just got real deep, man.
This was a funny movie. That's how I want to go.
Oh Lord.
There.
Oh my gosh. Them again. Oh.
Weird coincidence.
Oh no. No. That's horrible.
Please clean me.
That sweater doesn't seem appropriate.
I was gonna say that's an interesting fashion choice.
Suddenly very depressing.
Like, oh no, this wasn't supposed to be sad.
Aww, portrait. No, that was a sad ending. Or is it over? Okay.
Almost.
Stu's a vampire, or Stu's a werewolf.
Please. I've gotten really attached to Stu.
It's been so long, I can't remember anything.
Yay! Oh no.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Reenactment.
Oh my god.
Oh, flower.
I love it. Oh my god. That is sweet beyond belief. Written and directed by them both. Okay, yeah. They have their senses of humor like combined together really well. Okay.
All right.
Are there any more like credit gags?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm gonna hit the X on that then.
All right.
My goodness.
Nebuchadnezzar's 9 Wives apparently is the name of this music.
Oh.
Or maybe not. Sorry. It says Nebuchadnezzar's 9 Wives, and then it says like Lastotchka. So I don't know.
Interesting.
So that was What We Do in the Shadows.
It was good.
Actually, yeah.
But too good for a live stream.
I actually really like the show too. So
it is really good.
It's really funny, and so you should all watch it. And it's on Hulu if you don't have FX. So
I will give that a shot.
Yeah, it's good.
So vampire dick. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, yeah, it had its moments. It's a little questionable moments, but yeah. Werewolves, not werewolves. I mean, werewolves, not werewolves. I got it messed up. Okay. Do we have any more we want to talk about this film before moving on? Because yeah, I mean, it was good, and we're all just like,
yeah, it was too good that we were all like enthralled by it, and we weren't very amusing to watch. So this is going to be a really boring, like, hour and a half because we were all so engrossed in the film. We need to watch terrible films, but that's okay. It was good. I enjoyed it.
I'm actually looking up something because I was like, while we were watching, oh God, it's not on anywhere. It's not streaming anywhere. Damn it. I was tempted while we were watching it. I've actually been meaning to like get back into this or watch it because I have it on DVD. Primeval. Did you guys ever see Primeval?
Mm-mm.
It was a BBC show. It's like the most ridiculous thing ever.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
No.
baby.
Lost it.
The Primeval people did not like that she was bashing their show. I just remember there used to, it's not on Netflix anymore, I just checked, but I one time watched the worst zombie movie I've ever seen, and I thought it would work for us because it was zoo animals alternate to zombies. It was called Zoombies. So that could work. I live tweeted it while I was watching it, and the director and the writer liked all of my tweets, and I got very embarrassed. I was just like,
You know,
liked it.
there's always Love Island.
That's true. That's true. Well, the next movie I want to live stream is for Pride, which my initial thought is the film But I'm a Cheerleader, but that's also a good film. Not sure how entertaining it'll be for people to watch us watch another good film, but we'll talk about that.
But if they watch it along with us, then it's fine.
That's true.
Primeval's on Hulu. Yes. Oh, so Primeval, since I got kicked off, thanks internet, is like, so it's on the BBC, and it was like time portals open up in various parts of like England, and like dinosaurs come through them, and so you have like modern day people like fighting dinosaurs in like modern day London, and it's just like it's completely ridiculous. The CGI is terrible, but I absolutely love this show because Andrew Lee Potts is in it. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but if you saw the sci-fi miniseries Alice, he was Hatter. And I just really like him.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have 3 seasons of that show on DVD. There's 5 seasons. But I have I have 3 seasons on DVD, and it's like completely ridiculous.
We'll have to make a list.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there are any like. I think there's so few queer movies that there aren't like bad ones because
Yeah,
like,
it'd be
there
tough.
just aren't enough.
Yeah, so for like Pride Month so far, and there's 4 Saturdays in Pride Month, so we only have 2 ideas so far. We're gonna live stream a movie, and then we're gonna do a trivia like episode. So it's up in the air what we'll watch, but maybe we'll find something else that'll be more something we can dish on. We can Mystery Science Theater the hell out. But then again, if we've all seen But I'm a Cheerleader, our commentary could be interesting.
I actually haven't seen that one.
It's so good. Haven't either.
Yeah, it's just been so long since I've seen it that it'll probably be pretty much new to me as well. So I think it'll be a good one.
I might have watched that for a school assignment.
Natasha Lyonne, Claire Duvall, Claire Duvall, yeah.
Yeah.
And RuPaul. That's like the most toned down version of RuPaul you'll ever see.
So let's do some, I know we've already kind of done a couple of recommendations, but let's do some recommendations now. Angel, you're first.
Well, a few episodes ago, I said that I started to watch Ozark and wasn't really digging it and didn't watch any more of it, but I went back to it and I've been watching it for like the past week, and it's okay, but it's like high-key drama, like people die like every episode, like it's just, so I'm not sure if I recommend it, but that's what I'm currently watching. And then I've just been watching a lot of like murder documentaries because that's what I'm on right now.
Same.
Yeah. That's pretty much been my entire time the past couple weeks.
Well, I am still watching Love Island. I am in the Love Island rabbit hole. Oh man, guys, I cannot stop. It's so bad. But I don't like this. I mean, I think I said this last time. I don't know if I recommend it because I really shouldn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do. So yeah, you should give it a shot if you want. I don't know. I watched season 6 UK Love Island, then I watched season 1 UK Love Island, then I watched, you guys, I've only been watching this for like a month and I've watched all these seasons. I watched Love Island Australia season 1, Love Island Australia season 2, and now I'm back on UK Love Island season 2. There we go.
That's amazing. I would say that would be a good one to watch, but next weekend I can't do it. I'm occupied next Saturday. Surprise, because I still can't leave my house, but I'm occupied digitally all day Saturday.
Mm-hmm. I think we might skip next weekend as kind of a lead-in to Pride Month. So we'll talk about that offline. Yeah. But
I work next weekend anyway. But yeah, it's also BookCon online. So BookCon.
So maybe we should take it off. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I guess. So I sort of have two. I just started yesterday. Because what happens is, and this is how I get into most of my shows. Somebody I follow on Tumblr reblogs a whole bunch of crap, and I'm finally just like, okay, fine, I'll check it out. And I got away from like serial dramas before because I used to watch like all the CSIs and NCIS and shows like that and everything, and it's just sort of like eventually they just get tired because it's like nobody really goes anywhere. It's not really about the characters, it's about the plots, and so it's like. And like you watch them for long enough, and it's just like, okay, I'm bored with you now. And so I haven't watched them. So I haven't watched them for really.
I'm distracted by the dog situation. I apologize. You continue.
So I hadn't watched them for a really long time, but somebody that I follow on Tumblr is like a huge fan of 911 on Fox. I know Fareed watches and sometimes reviews 911 Lone Star because it has a queer couple on there, but 911 does too. One of the main characters is a lesbian and she's married, and so like she and her wife are on there too. It's actually like a pretty good show. Like I'm already into season 2. of course, season 1 was only like 10 episodes, so it wasn't that hard. But what I was telling everybody earlier before we started is that it's kind of hard to stream because only seasons 1 and 3 are on Hulu. Like season 2 is just not there for some reason, so I had to find it elsewhere. But yeah, I was like, I'm really enjoying it. I was actually watching it. I like almost right up until the webcast. I'm like, how many episodes can I fit in before I have to shut off to do the webcast? So that's 911. It's pretty good. And then the other one is like, it's more like a rediscovering. But I love the 80s. I don't know if anybody watched that when it was on VH1 and like
that was like the commentary show, like with
yes,
infamous people. I'm hesitant to say famous, but like infamous people commenting on pop culture from the 80s,
yes.
right?
Yes, I love the 80s.
Tanya Harding on?
Maybe she
so.
Might have been on I Love the 90s.
Oh, maybe, which would be because I wouldn't like that era if I were her. But anyway.
Well, because they would. I mean, it's a lot of like random celebrities. It's like Hal Sparks is in like every episode. Michael Ian Black. So like random people that are like famous but like not like A-list, not A-listers. And then it'll be like people that were famous like during the decade. There's a lot of like 80s rock stars, and like people that were famous in like the 80s. And the people, like, if they're in the movie that they're talking about, like, they might have the cast on there. That show was my jam when that originally came out. I pissed off everyone in my sorority, hogging the television room, watching that whenever they marathoned it on VH1, which they did a lot. Like, there were, because they did every year, so there were 10 episodes, and that would be, like, my day, and I would be, like, sitting in the TV room. And people, like, they were always annoyed. And I'm like, listen, if there is something else you want to watch, tell me and I will leave. But if you don't tell me, I don't know you want it anyway. But it was like, it used to be on all the time. And then it was like never on ever again. And that's one of the things that I was really hoping that, like, with the advent of streaming, that like somebody would put on their streaming site. Or VH1 should have it on TV. Everybody's home during quarantine. Put on I Love the 80s. I will watch that shit. But anyway, I found all of the episodes on YouTube. So that's what I was doing yesterday before I clicked over to 911. I was like, oh my God. So I made it through 1984. But I so.
Well, before we get to Kate, I'm going to jump in really quick because I saw your tweet, I think it was last night, about MMC. You were like begging Disney Plus to put MMC on Disney Plus, and I was like, yes.
What's MMC?
The Mickey Mouse Club from the 90s.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that they never brought that back after everybody, so many people got famous off of it.
Yeah,
I'm like, I think they would have like one day where they're like, we're gonna show like 6 episodes of it. I'm like, put it on DVD. I will buy that. Like,
I will buy it too.
I will still buy it.
I was a latchkey kid. That was like what I watched every day after school.
We got the Disney Channel before it was part of basic cable. Like, we specifically subscribed to the Disney Channel so I could watch the Mickey Mouse Club. I begged my parents. I'm like, please.
You know what? Throw freaking Kids Incorporated in there too. Why not?
Oh God, you guys, I haven't seen either of those shows.
Me neither.
In addition to being a baby, I wasn't allowed to watch TV as a kid. So
I had a bunch of friends that like weren't allowed to watch television. So they would come over to our house to watch television because they weren't allowed to watch it at home.
Well, and you know my story.
They would like mute parts of it. It was the thing.
My parents put a TV in my bedroom when I was 2. So that's all you need to know about my development.
Yeah.
And yet here we are.
Exactly.
So MMC was great because I had like random episodes on like VHS that I would tape. Because one of the things that they had that was so great was Emerald Cove, which was like a 5-minute segment. It was like their soap opera.
Yes.
It was so great. And I still remember like random skits from it. Because they had one where it was like they were brain cells. and it was like Fort Brain. And so like the kid would be like taking a test or whatever, and it goes into like his brain, and the brain cells are like just throw anything at it. And they have like cannonballs that say like the Gettysburg Address, and it's like just throw it.
Well, it's so funny because everybody, like, now Steven Universe is really popular, and so everybody's talking about like Dee Dee Magno from Steven Universe, but I was like, I know her from Mickey Mouse Club, like a long time ago. Dee Dee, yeah.
Oh my god.
She was in The Party. Don't you remember The Party?
Oh, The Party. Okay, yeah.
The Party was like a band that they put together, or like a pop music group that they put together from members of Mickey Mouse Club. And that was my first CD that I ever got, was The Party. And yeah, Dee Dee was in The Party. So
I have a bunch of the MMC songs on like my iPod. Like some of their like original songs, but usually a lot of, because they would always sing like a pop song.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cast members would sing a pop song. And so I have like when all the younger kids like Justin and Brittany and Christina sang Can't Help Falling in Love. I have that. And I have JC Chazé singing Now and Forever.
Yeah.
And then, did he sing that? Yes, he sang, and then Tony played the guitar. That's why I was so bummed, because when I saw NSYNC in concert and Tony Luca was the opening act, and I missed him because we were late. Still mad about that, like 20 years later. Anyway,
we'll have to do an MMC episode. Maybe one of these days it's just going to be you and me, though.
Disney people, if you're listening, put it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake will get in touch with your people and be like, no, it's probably not gonna happen. Kate, do you have any recommendations for us?
Since I got furloughed at my job a couple months ago, so since then I have played hours and days worth of Stardew Valley. It's a very cute game. I'm a big fan of it. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of murder documentaries. Also, I just watched a documentary that was on Hulu about in the 50s and 60s, this doctor was selling babies literally out of the back door of his clinic in Georgia, where I live, not in the city that I live, but in Georgia. And I was just like, of course, why would that not happen in Georgia? So it was like 4 episodes, but it was like kids are all like in their 60s now. They're trying to find their families. It was very sad. So I'm not recommending that exactly, but that's what I've been doing. Lots of podcasts also about crime and conspiracy theories. And
if you're looking for other crime stuff, which I'm sorry, this is totally not stuff I recommend to normal people. So you guys, normal folks, can like turn away for a minute. But if you're looking for like murder stuff on Netflix, there are 2 that's really good. One is called Lost Girls, and it is about the Long Island serial killer, which is one of the most famous that's going on right now because it's still ongoing and they don't know who he is yet. It's a docudrama though, so it's acted out by actors, but it follows like the situation closely, like it's accurate, and then another one is called Murder Mountain, which is about the missing people up in Humboldt County that go missing because of the drug trade up there. That's interesting. I guess I have 3. Another one, not a documentary, it's somewhat fictionalized, but it's called Mine Hunter. It's 2 seasons long. And it is the serial killers in it are factual, but the other characters in it are fictional, but it accurately kind of describes like the progression of criminal profiling when it comes to serial killers. It's really good. So
is that the one with Jonathan Groff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really good.
The actors who play the actual killers are incredible.
Really good. Yes.
So I like how I was actually thinking about writing an article about why I've turned to reality dating shows during quarantine, but it seems like you're either reality dating shows or murder documentaries. So,
yes.
I mean, I think it's very relevant because it's like, it's real life, but it's like worse than your real life. So you're like, oh,
it could be worse. Like, could be getting murdered.
Yeah, exactly.
manageable.
It's so funny.
Or
So
on a dating reality show.
I had a different recommendation in the doc, and I changed it after I started watching 911s because I had something actual. But I was sort of inspired because Angel's written multiple articles about how like apocalyptic and like disaster fiction is like can help people cope. And so my original recommendation is a book which I think everybody should read because it's awesome. It's called Station 11.
Mm-hmm.
It might hit a little too close to home because it's the aftermath of Earth after a pandemic wipes out like a vast majority of the population, but it focuses on a traveling orchestra as they like go around to all the different like settlements and like try and like bring some sort of like normalcy to people. It's really good. So I recommend everybody read that.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that I'm really focusing on a lot right now, because a lot of people are like, oh, why would you want another season of Black Mirror right now? Like, we're living already in a dystopian like situation. It's like, it is helpful for some people. Like, I've been binge watching Black Mirror episodes and you know, watching Ozark, which is not really dystopian, but it's like murder every single episode. Murder documentaries. I watched Contagion back in March when I was first in lockdown.
I refuse to watch Contagion again, but I did binge listen to I'm the podcast person, but I binge listened to This Podcast Will Kill You, and each episode, almost every episode is because you told me about it. But each episode is about a different disease or a plant that's poisonous or whatever. But I did at the very end. They've been working on a series on on COVID, and I did have refused to listen to any of those, but I listened to all of them.
So I'm really glad they're doing that, because they started out a couple years ago doing, weekly episodes on different diseases. And then the pandemic hit and they're like, okay. So they're doing their regular episodes. Like they just did an episode on antibiotics. And then a few weeks ago, they did like equine encephalitis, which is some really bizarre disease, like for horses. But in between their normal episodes, they're doing coronavirus episodes because they want to keep doing their normal stuff, but they can't exactly like ignore like what's happening because it's kind of like their thing. But I so much.
Sorry, they're so good. I listened to the first COVID episode, and at the end of each episode, because they're both I can't remember their titles, but they both have PhDs in disease ecology. That's disease ecologists. So they do really good research, and they have like, here's our sources, and every now and then I'm like, oh, this is interesting, and I'll go find the, because I go find the article, I go find the book or whatever. So I put a book on hold about SARS at the library before the libraries closed. And where I live, the libraries have sort of reopened. So they called me earlier today and they're like, hey, you have a book here on hold that's about SARS. They're like, you have a book here on hold. If you make an appointment, you can come pick it up. And I was like, I don't know if I want to read that anymore. I did at the beginning of March.
Yeah.
But not now.
Yeah, their very first episode was like back in March, and it was like not much was known yet, and like the country there wasn't lockdowns all over the place. Like this was even before like California did their lockdown, which was super early. So they didn't really know a lot there, and they thought it was going to just be like a one-off episode, and then it just the pandemic just kept getting worse and worse. Like
11 or 12. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds good.
So if you
I don't think I want to listen to that right now personally, but it sounds interesting though. I mean, eventually I could watch it or listen to it. What am I even saying?
Catch. Those are fun to learn about. Like you won't catch the one horses.
I'm having some issues. I'm sorry. Speaking of coronavirus, let's talk about quarantine shout outs. So what positive things have you seen or random things you want to mention related to the pandemic or being quarantined?
Well, I don't know if it's positive, but anything that Dylan O'Brien does, I have to plug. So Sarah Ramos does like reenactments of like movie scenes with her friends, and she and Dylan O'Brien did the lawyer up asshole scene from The Social Network. And it was obviously like she's Jesse Eisenberg and Justin Timberlake, and then Dylan is Andrew Garfield. And obviously they filmed it like separately and like pieced it together and everything like that. But like apparently somehow like she posted this on Twitter, and Andrew Garfield, who does not have Twitter, still saw it, and he texted Lin-Manuel Miranda like a link to the video and was just like, I don't have Twitter, but this guy nailed it. Like, he said murdered it. He's like, this guy murdered it. And so like Lin like screenshot the text thread and like posted it on Twitter. And then like Dylan replied, and he's just like, it's an honor, sir, or something like that. And it's just like, that was like, being a fan of Dylan O'Brien is kind of hard because he's a pretty private person. He has Twitter, but he almost never uses it. He doesn't go out and do stuff. So like, it's very rare to have like new content from him or anything new to talk about. So this has been like, the fandom like blew up. So
That's pretty great.
that's
Exciting times in unexciting times.
My shout out is literally just Billy Eichner's Twitter account. But if you don't know who Billy Eichner is, he does the show Billy on the Street. He's been doing that since like forever. And he was also in a couple of the later seasons of Parks and Rec. And he was was he Pumbaa or was he Timon in the Lion King remake? I can't remember, but he had a part in that.
He was Timon, I think,
Timon,
because
yeah.
Seth Rogen was Pumbaa.
Okay, there you go. I clearly haven't seen that. I know him mainly from Billy on the Street, which is him wandering around the streets of New York, like yelling at people. Like, if you've seen that, name a woman. Like, what?
For $1, name a woman.
Name a woman. What? Like, that's Billy. But he has some of the best like quarantine humor. Like yesterday, he tweeted, "Listening to Rain on Me while sterilizing my doorknobs," because Rain on Me is the Lady Gaga and Ariana like song that just came out. And like, here's another one. This is related to the meme that went around that was like, change one letter in a band to make it like to ruin the band or whatever. And he tweeted, 2020, waiting for the results of my antibody test while people triumphantly hit send on a tweet that says poo fighters. And here's another one from like a week ago. Not loving the pandemic so far, but I'm going to keep watching and give it a chance.
How many chances do you want?
And here's another one. This will be the last one I quote. Just go look at his Twitter. It's amazing. But I'll only host the Oscars if we can give them out the way I got my coronavirus test at a makeshift drive-through at Cedar Sinai. He's so great. Like, I just go follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, Billy's great. So let's do a question. I actually have a question this time, which I actually thought of ahead of time. Thank you. In celebration, in honor of watching What We Do in the Shadows, I thought, what's your favorite mockumentary or genre-bending satire film or TV show or really anything? I'll go first since it's my question. So my favorite genre is horror, and obviously I really love comedy as well. So I love when horror and comedy come together. And so obviously What We Do in the Shadows is one of my favorite films, but I also love Shaun of the Dead and Tucker and Dale versus Evil are a couple of other examples of those melting of the horror and comedy genres. And I love them. So
mine is probably I have like so many like satire, like the spoof movies are like my favorite kind of movie. But I would like have to go like chosen to pick Spaceballs, which is just like amazing. Like I love Spaceballs so much. And then not another teen movie. Like I know like it's ridiculous, but I love it. And so many of those movies, like those parody movies, because there was like a few couple year period where like they were really coming out. There was like scary movie and like superhero movie and everything like that. Not Another Teen Movie is, I think, like the funniest because it's like the most aware of itself.
Is that the one with Chris Evans?
Yes,
that is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. The best thing about that movie is the random stuff that they yell in the background. So I don't know if you've ever like paid attention to the stuff that they yell in the background or like have the like captions on or whatever. But it's like just the random stuff, like when she jumps into the pool at the party and everybody's just like, yeah, show us how drunk you are. And then she her like rival like spills the water on her. Like it just like dumps water on her after she gets out of the pool, so she's already wet and she's like dumping the water on her, and then somebody in the background goes, oh, that's got a stain, and it's just like that's.
I think I found our next watch party movie.
Have you not seen that one?
No, I have, but it's been like forever.
Oh my god, I love it. I think it's on Hulu.
Oh, well, you check that out. You
it's not
check
like
it out.
I've seen it, but I do love Chris Evans.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna check and see who else has an answer to the question.
Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap. It's like the classic mockumentary. It's like ridiculous, like 1980s, like rock band that just really sucks.
Dang. It was on Hulu. It's not on Hulu anymore.
Okay.
But that's my
We'll find it somewhere.
Kate, do you have anything?
I don't have any answer.
I'm putting you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I'm bad at answering questions on the spot. So like other people have said things, I'm like, yeah, just Another Teen Movie, Spinal Tap, great. But I can't. I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh wait, I have another one because this is actually like a documentary, which we sort of talked about in our boy band one. Together.
Yes.
Together was like great.
Together was great. Yes. Oh.
I don't know what that is.
Together was it came out when I was like a freshman in college. This is like early 2001. It was MTV, like it was a mockumentary, and they made like a fake boy band.
Oh.
And it was like the whole documentary was like this guy like is the manager of a boy band and they kick him out, and then he's trying to find a new act and he finds like a really good singer and he tries to like bring him to like his manager, talent agent or whatever, and he's like, no, we're all about boy bands now, and he's like, I totally have a boy band, and so then he just goes and finds like 4 random people to like fill out the boy band, and they have like a week until they have to perform a song. It's really great, and they actually like they put out albums. Like they have legitimate albums.
And it was really like the actors singing, and the songs are just like ridiculous.
One of them is, it goes, say it, don't spray it. I want the news, not the weather.
Oh no.
Or like their first big hit was Calculus, you plus me equals us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was you plus me equals us.
Yeah. And there was choreography. Yeah, it was great. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Together was great. For those of us who are slightly older, we remember these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think we're good. We're gonna probably skip next week, like we said, but then we've got Pride Month, and it sounds like we have a good lineup of other things to watch after that. So we're good to go. Thank you for joining us for What We Do in the Shadows. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you will watch the show now, because it is also good, and it has the same like production company and everything too. So it's the same people involved. So yes. All right. I'm Erin, along with Admin Angel, Kate, and Jamie. Thank you again for joining us for Feelings with the Geekiary Quarantine Edition. Remember, we're a free webcast run off of donations from viewers like you. Thanks for contributing and helping our host site, the Geekiary, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.